So there was a big dust up on X Twitter a few weeks ago when Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk both were advocating for the h1B visa program, specifically from white nationalists talking about Indians coming over here replacing white workers. Now it is now January 16th, 2025. Okay. This dust up occurred about 3 weeks ago around Christmas time, either the day before, the day of, or the day after. I can't remember. But Vivek Ramaswamy was, criticizing the American education system, and he was basically saying Americans had become lazy and complacent, and a lot of white conservatives and right wing influencers took offense to this. Me personally, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really let it get under my skin because this has been going on for a long time, and in this video, I'm going to prove to you that it's been going on for a long time. And the whole white replacement, and they don't think white workers are good enough, etc., etc. It's really just a bunch of social media emoting, in my opinion, because the people that are responsible for the white replacement and allowing all these Indians to come over here to replace white people look like other white people. And that's just an incontrovertible fact. And it's been going on for a long time. And it's been a bipartisan effort. White Democrats and white Republicans, right, have been in on it. So the white nationalists have been gloating on Twitter that Vivek Ramaswamy has been absent from Twitter since New Year's, when in reality he actually did tweet one time on January 3rd. So I want to go over some of these tweets and go over why the white nationalists are basically just making themselves look more foolish than they already look, because this is not something that you can put on Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy pissed y'all off because Vivek Ramaswamy, he came off as one of us. He came off as a conservative. He came off as America first. Now, me personally, I am a very, very, very conservative individual. I'm from the state of Georgia. I believe in all the Republican principles that you can dream of. I don't believe our country is conservative enough, right? It's a lot of stuff going on in America that shouldn't be going on. I'm an 80s baby. I'm an older millennial. I don't look like it, but I am. And I just think that these white nationalists that's been crashing out on social media for weeks now over this whole h1B visa situation, I think you're just showing out on Twitter because that's all you can do. So let's go over some of these tweets and we'll continue moving forward in the video. So as you can see on this tweet from Vivek, January 3rd, not New Year's. Congrats to our friend in Ohio's new Senator Bernie Moreno. Now the real work begins. He's congratulating Bernie Moreno, who won his Senate race in Ohio, who's a conservative. I wish Bernie Moreno well. One person put, why not to shit, I guess they meant how not to shit, on an entire race of people one-on-one. America is white and Christian, not brown and Hindu, and it got about 1.5 thousand likes. Another person put, he got told that he either puts on the muzzle or he never becomes governor, senator of Ohio. Probably not going to happen regardless after the H-1B visa fiasco and people waking up on how he made his money. I personally don't think that Vivek Ramaswamy is going to run for governor of Ohio. I don't think he would win if he did run. Another person put up a meme just of Vivek with something in his hand. It says, street shitting is an art, making fun of the Indians' public defecation crisis or whatever. Another person with an avatar as usual put, good, fuck this stinky shit eating cow worshiper, you're getting deported, at Vivek Ramaswamy, and they put up a clown emoji. Another person put another meme of just some Indians defecating on the side of some railroad tracks, and X behind it, I guess, Indians then, Indians now. And of course, one of the most cliche insults towards Indians, that they all work at 7-Eleven gas stations. Back to 7-Eleven, somebody put. So those are just some of the thousands of tweets and memes and stuff they've been putting up. Let me go over something that I noticed that a lot of white nationalists talk about. I first heard about this listening to a podcast by a guy named Vincent James, who was kicked off of YouTube. And y'all obviously see I'm a black man, but I don't run from the white nationalist rhetoric. I don't want you silenced. I don't want you canceled. I'm subscribed to a few channels that may not be the most black friendly or the most non-white friendly, but I actually want to know what the white nationalists think. I actually want to hear their side of the story, and I don't agree with a bunch of stuff that the white nationalist says and how he or she feels, but that doesn't mean I want you silenced. I think that there's room for discourse on both sides. That's what America's all about. So as long as you're not threatening nobody, you're not threatening to harm anybody, or you're breaking any laws, I don't have any problem with free speech, even if it's deemed as hate speech. As long as you're not trying to harm nobody or take anybody's life or hurt their children or something crazy like that, your post, your accounts, your ability to speak freely through the digital town hall should be free as a bird. So let's go over what I have come to study and know about, called the Hart-Celler Act, which goes back to the year of 1965 when Lyndon Baines Johnson was in office, a notorious white supremacist Democrat president, I might add. And we'll go over some of the key points that were implemented within the Hart-Celler Act. So the Hart-Celler Act is significant because what it did is it changed immigration policy to the point where they were no longer going to select certain countries, specifically European countries, for immigrants to come from. And that's why the nation looks the way it looks today in 2025 compared to 1965. The Hart-Celler Act, this is just a quick Google search, and I've read over some more, I guess, official sources, and this is pretty accurate. It's just a quick Google AI generated response. Under Lyndon Baines Johnson, it significantly changed U.S. immigration policy by abolishing the national origins quota system, essentially removing discrimination based on nationality and race in immigration selection, and instead prioritizing family reunification and skilled workers. It ended national origins quota system, right? It focused on family reunification and skills. And what it did is it led to mass immigration from countries like from continents such as Asia, Africa, and South America, specifically south of the U.S. border, i.e. Mexico, and now you got a lot of Central Americans like El Salvadorans, Guatemalans, Nicaraguans, not a whole lot of Panamanians, and not a whole lot of Costa Ricans, because their economies are a lot more stable, and those countries are a little bit better off than the ones in the further north parts of Central America. The ones that are closer to Mexico are a lot more unstable. Although El Salvador is turning a corner with that new president they elected a couple years ago. He's locking up all the MS-13 gangbangers, and the country is now ranked as one of the safest in the Western Hemisphere. So good for him and his country. You have a lot of Indians over here, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Filipinos, right? So it's a different America when it comes to immigration compared to back in the day. Following the Civil War, a lot of your immigrants were white, and they were coming from places like Italy and Ireland and the UK and Poland, right? You can just talk to white people from across the country, and they'll all tell you, yes, my ancestors are from Poland, my ancestors are from Britain, my ancestors are German, right? That's when the white population really began to really take off, from the 1900s up until maybe the Second World War, and then we kind of had the baby boom situation, and immigration kind of picked up again, and up under the Hart-Celler Act, that's when things dramatically changed. Now, I don't know what drove the Hart-Celler Act to become something that was implemented. I don't know what made these guys do this. Maybe it was corporations' demand for cheap labor. I don't know. That sounds like it might be what it was, and I think that's what it was. And that's just what it is at this point. So there's culprit number one, Emmanuel Seller. I think he was from New York. He's of course deceased now, and of course these guys were the architects of the Hart-Celler Act. Um, they were both congressmen. Um, I don't know much about Emmanuel Seller. I don't know his background. I just know that that's who he was. He was a congressman from New York. And then his co-sponsor of this law, Philip Hart, he was from Michigan. And he died in the 70s. I think he had some form of cancer. And these were both Democrats, okay? And the president who signed this law was a Democrat, LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, one of the most corrupt and notorious white supremacist presidents of all time. I mean, he just wasn't a good guy. He was from the state of Texas, as we all know, and some people think that LBJ had a hand in Kennedy's assassination. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if there's any real veracity to that, but we know the government took out Kennedy. That's an incontrovertible fact at this point. But to the white nationalists, do not forget that we have had multiple Republican presidents since this act was signed. Good old Ronald Reagan, right? And I'm leaving out. I think I'm leaving out Nixon. But Ronald Reagan, he was supposed to be this conservative icon. A lot of the boomer white conservatives love this guy. I don't know why, but they do. I was just a child when he was in office, so I don't really remember much about his term. Good old H.W. Bush and his son W. H.W. is of course dead. He was a big advocate for the New World Order. He was a globalist. His son is a globalist. We know this. This is nothing new. If you got your third eye open, you know this already. And then, of course, there's good old Donald John Trump himself. And Trump, he takes office in a few days. I hope he has a great second term, but we're already starting to see signs that it's probably going to be more of the same. He's not going to oversee the deportation of 30 million illegal immigrants. That's the real number. It's not 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 million like they're telling you it is. It's over 30 million. Okay. And I know that this is not the United States of India, but hey, big tech wants cheap labor. That's just what it is. This, like I said, this has been going on for a long time. and this uproar on Twitter would have never happened if a so-called America First person wouldn't have did what they did. You know, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, all these tech companies, and even ones I didn't name, Apple, all of them utilize foreign labor. Your iPhone that you're probably using was manufactured in China. Why? Because it costs less money. They've been outsourcing American jobs for decades. Is it legal? Yes. Is it ethical? No. Okay? Because people are losing jobs. So my message to the white nationalists is very clear. What are you going to do about it? And of course, there are some fringe people talking about violence. Okay, good luck with that. The only language that these corporations understand is dollars and cents. You got to hit them in their pocket. You got to boycott. Nobody's going to really do it because you're addicted to their products. You're addicted to ordering stuff off of Amazon. You're addicted to using their operating systems like Microsoft. Okay? It's just that they're too big and they're too powerful. I mean, there's a way to bring these corporations to their knees. There's a way to get people to change their habits, but it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be easy. And Elon Musk, of course, is accused of censoring right-wing accounts who disagree with him on immigration. See, y'all might have... I'm not going to say the white nationalists have caused Vivek Ramaswamy to go into hiding, because I don't know how active Vivek was on X before this whole h1B visa dust-up. But I do know that he has been pretty quiet over the past couple weeks. That is true. Elon Musk just told y'all to shut your mouths or I'm gonna shut you down. You know, that's Laura Loomer, who is a very popular right-wing influencer. Some stuff she hits on, some stuff I think she just talking out of her ass. I'm not a huge fan of Laura Loomer. I don't dislike her, but I'm just not a fan. I think she needs to get her a good man, go have some kids, and I don't know, man. She just, in my opinion, she be doing too much sometimes. Sometimes she be hot, spot on, sometimes she be off. I'm going to just leave it at that. And I don't like how Elon Musk has silenced some people. He ain't deleted nobody's accounts that criticize his support of the H1B visa program, but he has taken away blue check marks. He has stopped monetization for some of these people. So in closing, Elon Musk is in on it. Vivek is in on it. They just said the quiet part out loud. I understand that white nationalists have been feeling that the country is changing so rapidly before your eyes. You're losing your country, the browning of America. Your neighborhoods are changing. I am from a place that is ground zero for demographic transformation. Metro Atlanta is very, very diverse now. Texas is a minority majority state. California, New Mexico is outright Hispanic majority now. Georgia's minority majority. Maryland's minority majority. I get your frustration, but your white woman ain't having no more babies. Like she's not having enough babies. Okay, people that look like you sell this country out. Okay, the CEOs of these corporations are mostly white. Y'all blame the Jews for everything, but Jews are mostly white. That's a fact. They're racially white. They're just a different kind of white. Okay, you continue to support corporations that don't give a damn about you. They care about money and that's it. Feminism, abortion, LGBT extremism, all this stuff being rammed down our throats. It's mostly white liberals who are the drones. They're the mindless puppets who push this stuff, but they look like you. And the blacks that vote Democrat and that support this nonsense are just puppets. You do have a greater percentage of black men, especially those of us under 50, Gen X, Millennial, Gen Z, that are turning more conservative, which is great. I'm proud of black men that are younger and wisening up. You know, maybe black women will wake up and follow us at some point. But it's so many other forces, dark forces, that are destroying this nation from within. And you're so focused on race and all this other shit, you're going to alienate yourselves into a corner. And the country's going to be gone, and once it's gone, it's not coming back. The empire will fall if we don't all work together. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to try to partner up with no white nationalists, because y'all want to be white nationalists. Go be a white nationalist with your other white nationalists. But the rest of the white people that's conservative, that love America, that want to see this nation win and prosper, I'm rocking with them. My black brothers and sisters that want to see this nation win and prosper, I'm rocking with them. The Asians, the Hispanics, I'm rocking with them. I'm rocking with anybody that wants to see America win, that loves this nation, that loves there. You can still love your people and love America and not be racist. I don't mind white people loving other white people. I don't mind white people wanting to get the white birth rates up. I don't mind that. I don't mind you wanting to live in mostly white neighborhoods. I don't mind you wanting your white sons and white daughters to marry other white people. That's fine with me. I'm cool with that. I'm attracted to certain white women. I ain't gonna lie. But I want to marry a black woman. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Most Hispanics want to marry other Hispanics. Right? Indians are probably the most racially or ethnically loyal people in this country. They don't date out at all. Very few of them will marry outside their race. Yeah, J.D. Vance's wife is an exception. But most of them, you don't see that. They don't even marry white folks like that. And the reason I say that, because white folks are the preferred race when people interracially marry. But anyway, man, I'm not going to ramble on too much longer. That was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I just wanted to highlight that the white nationalists on Twitter/X are crashing out over Vivek and Elon, and whether Vivek was told to be quiet by Trump or somebody in his administration, or maybe he got his feelings hurt, maybe he was embarrassed, I don't know. But Vivek is not going nowhere. He's going to come back. He's probably just taking a break from Twitter. Just probably gathering his thoughts. I do think he was embarrassed. I do think that the white nationalists kind of burned him a little bit. I really do believe that. And I'm disappointed that Elon Musk allowed his ego to get the best of him. The only thing bigger than Elon Musk's bank account is his ego. You see what I'm saying? And he just crashed out by telling people to go F themselves in the face and all this other stuff just because they had a difference of opinion. That's not high IQ behavior, but he is high IQ. You can't deny it. He's smart as hell and rich as hell for a reason. But that's the end of the discussion, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.